What did the Mexican Literature Project say to the other Mexican Literature Project? A essay.
Disgusting!
It was just a joke.
Humor is offensive and oppressive. A thing of the past.
Okay, it wasn't a very good joke, but it was not intended to be oppressive. Please, I beg of you, have mercy.
Funny, isn't it? Those who think they aren't being oppressive are always the most oppressive.
Please.
I've heard enough.
No.
Finish him!
No! No! Stop! Stop!
Humor is subjective, but in all forms is meant to be entertaining.
It was announced that Creed singer Scott Stapp will play Frank Sinatra in an upcoming movie. But the good news is Sammy Davis Jr. will be played by Scarlett Johansson.
Humor comes in different forms.
No respect at all. Well, when I was born, the doctor told my mother I did all I could, but he pulled through anyway, you know?
Satire.
We have found the witch. May we burn her?
How do you know she is a witch?
She looks like one.
Parody.
You don't get it. I am a killer. I want to eat you.
That's cool. Most guys aren't into that.
Slapstick.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get...
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're one on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
I've got to get out of here.
Wit.
No, not Edmund Wells, Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens?
Yes.
You mean Barnaby Rudge?
No, Barnaby Budge by Charles Dickens. That's Dickens with 2 Ks, the well-known Dutch author.
And sarcasm.
So we're electing a student president. I want to run. I have so many ideas for improving the school.
Improving Greendale takes more than ideas, Annie. It takes time, gasoline, matches.
Just to name a few. Sometimes jokes are obvious.
Well, a beef-flavored water for dog hit stores this week, and dogs are eagerly anticipating the arrival next month of the newest water flavor, other dogs' asses.
Sometimes they have to be explained.
I think it's a joke, sir. Like Sillius Sodus or Biggest Dicker, sir. What's funny about Biggest Dickers? Well, it's a joke name, sir.
Which brings us to our current topic. Now, about 10 days or so ago, as I record this, I published Volume 5 in the Reckoning Monologue series because I found a thread on the forums that I thought was worthy. I thought it was interesting. I thought, could make for some good conversation. And so I did a video discussing what the OP said and what some of the responses were and, just what I thought. But I did it in my usual fashion. I did it by including a bit of humor, because that is how I try to construct things to make them more entertaining. Some of the jokes included were these. I suppose that's true, but everybody probably feels that way about their particular class. It has a strong identity.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
It has a strong identity, he says, and a distinct play style.
Get him, boys!
Now, you may or may not find that funny. You may not appreciate that particular style of humor. But it is a style that I employ, and I do it under the basic thesis that not everyone is going to get this joke. I do it on the underlying principle that someone will get this joke. And that's kind of the central core of all comedy at all levels, is that someone is going to find this funny. Someone's going to get it and is going to laugh at it. And the sort of the way you have to proceed. That you can't worry about those that might not understand the joke, might not get the joke, but you just do it for those who will.
Come with me if you don't want paint on your clothes.
And those who will, will typically appreciate your effort. Now that's kind of how I've created videos ever since I first started. The video you're looking at right now is from the very first Warhammer Return of Reckoning video I ever published. And it was entitled "You Look Ready," and you'll recognize the music if you saw the movie Dread. But I want to let this run for a moment, just to give an appreciation of the type of work that I have tried to do over the years, under the precept always of this is me playing a game, this is me having fun, and if I can do this, so can you, so can anybody. All right, just listen to this for a moment. That was kind of cool stuff. I had fun back in those days making these videos. But again, as time progressed and I got more into the actual editing and sort of detailed editing, I tried to branch out into other fields, such as the Warhammer Online Return of Reckoning headline news series I did, which is a parody and satire series. I constructed them in the model of an evening newscast, using video captured from all over the Warhammer world and jokes that I kind of wrote myself. I admit there's one or two in there that I kind of borrowed from other places, but most of the jokes I wrote myself, and I presented them in this fashion, and here's an example of what that looked like.
Our top story tonight. In Eotane, a column of assault vehicles carrying Empire troops across contested land was stalled when the lead tank broke down. When asked if he knew what caused the breakdown, the officer in charge stated, "Oh yeah, that's easy. The dwarf on the treadmill died." I suppose that's not funny, but it's funny.
I suppose the other most notable aspect of some of the work I've done is the lightning round material for the Tothmometer podcast. And and of all the stuff I've done, I've gotten the most positive feedback from the lightning round, which again was just bits off the forum and addressed in a quick and humorous manner. Here's an example of what that looked like. Okay, here we have a Witch Elf player asking what to run at 75 plus. Yeah, I know he's talking about renown level, but still, that was funny. Alright. Up next, someone is talking about Black Orc usefulness.
Get to the chopper!
Yeah, that about sums it up. But wait, there's more.
Black Orcs are the toughest, meanest, and most battle-hardened of all orcs.
Ha! Gay!
Alright, I don't want to belabor the point here and drag this out too long. So, what is the point I am trying to make? Well, it's simply this, that I have always thought that humor is something that the server needs. You know, a sense of humor, sort of lighthearted, maybe a bit of cutting here and there, whatever, but just something fun is what the server needs, among other things. The philosophy is, if we can't laugh at ourselves, if we can't realize that what we're doing is a game and isn't meant to be taken overly serious, why are we here? There's got to be other things, other more constructive things we could do with our time. So if we can't come here and have fun, what's the point? That's why I do what I do. As it relates to this little conversation, Volume 6 of the Reckoning Monologues, I did get, well, let me rephrase that. There was a post put up in the thread about the Maguses, the Magus questions, I should say. And it started off with this, which basically boils down to, can we please ignore this guy? Because he's not taking the game seriously. He's not taking this issue seriously. He's insufferable, and he's not taking it seriously, and we need to take this seriously, and therefore nothing he says should be taken seriously. And he's destroying the game because he's not serious. And all right, and here's some, you can see the actual quotes as they're going by. So I read that, and then I scrolled down, and I found that this guy, he's all mad because my contributions aren't serious enough. And because they're not serious enough, they are therefore useless to the conversation and shouldn't be given any attention at all because they're not serious. This guy who's so mad about that, this is his signature, his actual signature. Return of Reckoning doesn't deserve being taken seriously.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I couldn't make this shit up if I wanted to. As always, thanks for watching.
Sir.